How's it going, fam? Welcome back to Erica's EDC, and today we're going to do a pocket dump. We're going to do an update on the 15V testing. We're going to talk a little bit about knives in general at the end, just some discoveries I've made. Let's get into it. Boring chapstick, no one cares. Flashlight. Phoenix E12. This is the second version, I want to say. Great little light. They've made a new variation since then, but it's fine. It works. I've had this for a long time. Kind of beat up. Victorinox Super Tinker. This is just my go-to Swiss Army knife. I have loads of content on it. This is just my favorite. Can't get it out of my pocket. That's an everyday one. Wallet. This is a wallet that I made. One of my first wallets that I ever did. It's pretty thin. Really minimalistic. I love it. This one's in black Crazy Horse and Wicked and Craig black leather. So I'm trying to see if I can show you the difference. Ooh, this is really dirty. See how the Crazy Horse is really matte finished and then the Wicked and Craig is shiny. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to do two different colors of, two different shades of black, I guess, two different variations, but that's the wallet. It does open up in the middle, has a slot in the back, so on the front, all the good things. Traditional knife today is in a slip that I just made out of museum leather. Not a fan of this, won't be doing slips in it. It's just not great to work with. I am working on a wallet in it right now, but it's just, it's difficult. So I figured I would make a slip, see how it did. And it matches this GEC Cody Scout. So I'm just going to keep this one for myself and see how it does. But my traditional knife today is the GEC Cody Scout. Well used and very much loved. I've had this for quite some time. All of my GECs have been gifts except for one, I believe. I am very lucky. In my back right pocket, I always carry cash, and I do have Band-Aids just because they're useful to carry around and have, I guess. I could put the cash into the wallet in the middle, but it kind of sticks out a little bit, and I'm just not the biggest fan of how that looks, so I just put it in my back pocket. The knife that I've been carrying for the whole month of January so far, and will continue to do so, is the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight in CPM 15V. The testing is going amazing on it. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff of the video. An update. This has been amazing to use. The edge that it came with was probably the sharpest factory edge I've ever gotten off of a production knife. If you don't have one, I don't think you'll be able to understand just how keen and fine, like a literal razor blade. That's what these are giving us. It is a whole different level of sharpness. And I've had other people tell me that too. It wasn't just mine. Like the sharpness level on these 15V knives is wild. I've definitely got a pretty good patina coming in from using it. I haven't really cleaned the blade too much. I just run it and let it do its thing. So it's got some staining for sure, but no rust or pitting that I can see at face value. And it's still an absolute razor blade, guys. So this is going to flow into the topic of today's video. This is the, man, I don't even know how many knives I've tested at this point where they don't have to be sharpened. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because there is a small demographic of the knife community that seems to have a difficult time digesting the fact that metallurgy has improved, science has taught us more, and quite frankly, we do have access to steel now that is very low maintenance. And what I mean by low maintenance in this video is that we have knives, be it production or custom knives, that you don't really have to sharpen or strop or touch up very often at all, even if you use your knife. And if you have been watching the channel for, the past year and a half, what I have done always is I'll run a knife for a month consecutively, test it for the whole month, sharpen and strop it, and then do a full review at the end of the month. And I can't do the review unless A, I've carried the knife consecutively for 30 days straight, and B, it's been sharpened, because we don't all know, but some of us know that it's not really realistic to review a knife if you haven't sharpened it. And that's a whole other video. I've touched on that before, but we all know that the majority of production knives come with fatigued, burnt edges. You cannot get a clear, realistic analysis on steel performance if the edge is toasted, if it is crustier than your mother. It just doesn't show us any true colors. And sometimes you have to even sharpen the knife up to 5 times before you get through that fatigued, overheated steel to like what we call the good stuff, okay? So my point is it's actually becoming harder and harder to do the full reviews, because a number of knives now that I've gotten, I have of course carried for the whole month, but the sharpening, I can't really squeeze it in a month anymore because the knife doesn't need to be sharpened. And this has happened a number of times. I've done reviews on K390, MagnaCut, Crewwear, Rex 121, you name it. There have been so many reviews of mine where I've said, this is almost like to be continued, because I used the knife as much as I could for a month and it still didn't need to be sharpened. And I'm not the biggest fan of sharpening knives when they don't need to be sharpened. I would rather use the knife until it's completely burnt out and then sharpen it, just because I want to see how long that factory edge lasts, especially if it's a burnt factory edge. It is kind of curious to see sometimes how long they'll last, or if they'll chip out or something from being overheated. It's just cool to see. So I do not like blowing through that factory edge with a sharpening that's unnecessary. It doesn't give me insight into how they're doing things over at the company. I'd rather use the factory edge, get a feel of how that went, and then start clean when it needs to be sharpened and really get a good idea of how the steel is going to perform. But like I said, it's getting more and more difficult to squeeze a sharpening into a month, because I use my knife every day, multiple times a day, but heat treat and steel and quality control and all of these things have improved it on such a drastic level that we just don't have to sharpen our knives too much. They just hold an edge. And I did a video the other day processing some deer leg with this, and it's still razor sharp, nothing. It doesn't need to be touched up. So I know that there is a small group of people that are like, every knife has to be sharpened at some point. And yes, that is correct. But the fact of the matter is, I think, and I can only speak for the custom makers and the companies that I have used, and realistically speaking, they're in the USA. That is predominantly where where my knives are made. With the exception of some Spydercos from Taiwan, which I love the Taiwanese ones, and probably have some other scattered things. But the point is, at least in the USA, I'm seeing some very good signs. I'm seeing custom makers and production companies dialing in heat treats, just doing a better job. And I don't have to really do anything on my end, which I think is a beautiful thing. It's really cool when you can use a knife for an entire month and not have to worry about it. It doesn't have to be stropped at the end of the week. It doesn't have to be sharpened every 2 weeks. It's very hassle-free. So it's a like I said, a beautiful thing. And I think it really goes to show that things are getting better here. That has always been the debate, and I think it always will be. I have to buy knives from that particular place overseas because they're the ones doing it better than us, and they're affordable. This 15V Para 3 was $153. I didn't buy it. I already said Josh did for me. It was a gift. $153, USA made by Spyderco. Golden, come on. Golden, Colorado. It's not going to show up, of course. Heat treat protocol conducted by Sean Houston, executed by Spyderco, but Sean is in there conducting all of the things and keeping everything in line. This knife is incredible, and I said when I first started the testing of this that I wasn't going to do the whole fangirl thing over Sean. He did not know who I was when I started the testing. He is aware of who I am now because he saw my video of doing the deer leg. I'm figuring there aren't a massive amount of people butchering deer legs on YouTube with a pocket knife of 15V. So he did stumble upon it. He does know who I am now. But like I said, I'm not the Sean Houston, oh my God, he's the Messiah. He's extremely intelligent and did a great job with this. Yay. Like, someone from the custom world decided to jump into the production world and make a good knife. That's amazing. I hope it keeps happening. The argument of, like, we can't get affordable good knives here, I will say I think the tables are starting to turn. And that argument, I think, is going to slowly dissipate. I hope it slowly dissipates because this is an amazing example. A knife that doesn't have to be sharpened very often at all. It doesn't even have to be touched up. Amazing quality, done by Spyderco, who we love. $153. I just don't think you can beat it, guys. So all of the arguments that circulate within the community, some of them are, thank God, starting to be a little bit like debunked, or like we're starting to build something up on the other side, which is really exciting because it's awesome to experience steel that is hassle-free. You don't have to worry about it. It just works, and it's even better when it's from the USA. And it's happening across the board. It looks like maybe we got a little bit of a spoiler with Spyderco. Sean posted a post on YouTube, and I believe it was an AEBL mule at 63 HRC, and I believe the post said that the Spyderco mule in AEBL at 63 HRC is the highest HRC AEBL available in terms of production knives. Hey, I'm trying to make a video. Thank you. No, thank you. So again, maybe we're going to see more higher HRC, high quality knives at production costs, right? If people can get the mule at 63 HRC, that's pretty cool. And this is another example here. This knife is my prototype EDC belt knife by John over at Heavy Set Tactical, okay? This was the first knife that he ever sent out, and as you can see, it may or may not be a little bit used and beat up, which we love here, right? We love knives that are actually used. This is another example of things finally coming together, I think, for the knife community, at least slowly but surely. This is an S45 VN at 62.5 HRC with an upgraded or updated heat treat protocol from Laren. I don't know the logistics of it, but apparently it was a little bit of a different heat treat, okay? And this knife does not feel like S45 VN at all. because from my experience, the S45 that I've had has been a little subpar. Tends to glass out. I don't bring it above 600 DMT because it will glass out. Got to keep it at like 325, 600 area. And I just wasn't like super impressed with production S45 until now. And this is not production, but I guess just S45 in general. I had only had production. I've used Spartan on the Harsey folder. I've used Bark River, Spyderco, Chris Reeve, a whole bunch of different people that were using it. And this feels so different compared to S45 that I've used. The aggressive edge is completely different. The toughness, the edge stability, all of the things about this are just so different than what I'm used to. It's extremely impressive. And like I said, I think we're getting to a point where makers and production settings are finally making it. I think they're finally kind of figuring it out. It's such a battle when we are head to head with the other place overseas, and they can just pump out infinite, it feels like infinite amounts of the same design at $50 from 10 different companies that are actually all owned by the same company. And I don't know, the excuse or the argument has been that they're affordable and that they're doing it right over there. And I guess it's just like, I almost feel like we're starting to come full circle with stuff like this, because John's going to be offering his knives at an affordable price from what he's told me. So seeing stuff like this come together with, in my opinion, heat treat protocols that cannot be replicated overseas because it's so rapid paced over there. It's so pump them out. We need money. We need the new next thing we need. I'm very much doubting that most of the places over there are going to be putting the time and effort and patience into heat treats that people do here. And I'm not saying everyone here does it right. We all know there are companies and makers here that aren't great. But I'm talking about the great ones. I'm talking about Spyderco. I'm talking about Chris Reeve, who's doing MagnaCut 6364 and it performs wonderfully. I'm talking about Emerson, who finally took their head out of the sand and is using MagnaCut at 63 HRC. I haven't used that yet, but I'm just using that as an example. Like finally, it seems like American companies are getting it together. Like they're finally, I don't know if they have the money or the resources or they've teamed up. I don't know what's happening, but we have incredible, affordable knives at our fingertips now with custom heat treats, beautifully made, great quality, fit and finish, all of the things. And it's exciting for me because I don't have a lot of choices in my life, and I'm sure some of you can relate. I do not have money. I don't buy any of the knives, okay? I don't have money to buy knives for this hobby. I also don't have money to just buy luxury items at all. And the only thing that I can really control at this moment in my life is supporting American companies with the hobby, because I can't spend extra money buying everything in my house made in the USA. I'm not at that point. I can't buy home goods. I can't buy, all the clothes. I can't buy everything in my house USA made because I'm not at that point in my life. The only thing I have control over is dominating and navigating my hobby, which is not a necessity, in the direction of supporting USA, because none of it's necessary, right? I don't need 1,000 knives. So for me, if this is the one thing that I can go USA with for the most part and support small custom USA makers and production knives within the USA, if that's what I can do to show my support, that's what I'm going to do, because I can't change everything overnight or in the next 5 years. But what I can do is wear some USA made hoodies, you know, wear some USA made LC King pants when I can, you know, use knives from people that I know or companies that I'm well associated with, that I trust. And that's all I can do right now, but it feels good. You know what I'm saying? Like GEC, same thing. USA, baby. Like same thing with case knives. And I have my quirks with case, but the whole point is this is exciting for me, because this is the one thing right now where I refuse to budge. You will never find a Chinese knife on my channel. It's never gonna happen. If you don't like that, unsub, because it's never gonna happen. And I am so proud to say that. And if that makes you upset, good. Get out of here, because this is the one thing that I can do, and it makes me really happy that I have items that I love, that I adore, that support USA, and there's something to show for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just, oh, I have this because I'm obsessed with the USA. No, it's like, they actually work, guys. We're on a good track here of quality. It seems like we're getting it together, and the more support that we give these companies and makers, the bigger they're gonna get, the more options we're gonna have, the more availability, and that money is recycling within us. And I really am passionate about that. So I just wanted to give that update. I know this is long-winded. We're at 22 minutes. This is gonna definitely piss Peanut Gallery off, and we're gonna lose 35 subs. That's okay. I just am so proud of what we're finally capable of doing. And were we capable of it the whole time? Maybe, but we're doing it now, guys. These are beautiful knives. They are performing above and beyond what I am used to. It's very exciting. This knife is incredible so far. Sean, thank you for bringing this together for us. I said I'm not a fangirl. I'm still gonna say I'm not a fangirl, but we'll see by the end of the month, because I'm really digging this. It's very impressive. So I just wanted to kind of put that together, guys. We're finally coming out of the trenches here, I think. And it's, for me, really exciting. I think we're gonna see beautiful things coming this year in the knife community. I can't wait to see all the new makers and the new collaborations within the US. And like I said, this is nothing against people that buy knives from China. It's not. Like, there can be two truths, right? You can enjoy what you want with your money. I don't give a crap what you do. But I'm also allowed to be like, yes, go US, go USA, go my friends, go Spyderco and GEC. I'm allowed to be excited that we're doing something productive. You know, it doesn't mean I hate people that use Jack Wolves or all of the, I can't even keep track. The Wii, Civivi, Kaiser, Concept, the Bee Boops, the ding 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 ding, the wee woo, the fidgety things. One of my best friends, Richter Knives. Richter is one of my best friends, and he loves his Jack Wolf knives and shows them all the time on his channel. Are they my thing? No. Do I watch every dang video he makes and comment on it? Absolutely, because it's your money. Do what you want in this life. Support whoever you want. All I'm doing is cheering for my little side over here where we finally have a flag and we're saying go USA. That's all I'm doing. It's nothing against anybody else. It's just excitement. So with that being said, guys, Thank you for watching. Where's my eyeball? Thank you for watching. I almost just cut my nose with this blade. I will see you guys on the next video. Go use your shit. Learn how to sharpen your knives. I'll see you on the next video, fam. I love you so much. Take care. Take care of your mom, otherwise I will.